When is a camping trip more than just a camping trip? When it's a bev tour.
Welcome back to the happy hour, guys. There's a field of hops. We are in Oregon. This is awesome. We're so psyched to be in Oregon. We're not in Oregon, we're in Washington. We're in the Yakima Valley of we're in Michigan.
What are we drinking tonight? What are we drinking tonight?
Beer.
Oh.
Craft. Beer.
Oh.
When you've been reporting on craft as long as we have, one of the coolest things is to come back to an area and see how much change has occurred. One of those areas is the northern lower peninsula of Michigan. First time we were up here, we were reporting on Shorts Brewing, which is up in Bel Air. But down near Traverse City, just a few miles away, my, how things have changed. Let's have a look in this little bev tour that we're going to call Shorts Shorts. When you're bev touring, one thing you really need to do is get some provisions before you start. And we had no problem with that at the Rare Bird brewpub in Traverse City, which is rapidly becoming the Brooklyn of Michigan. We were shocked by how cool this whole area is. And another thing that we thought was super cool about Rare Bird, they have their own brews, of course, that they make on site, and they generally have 6 of them on tap at any one time, but they have 35 taps. And all the other guest beers are amazing craft beers from around the state and around the country. They brew one of the best coffee beers I've ever had, and they have a full menu. We ate well. After Rare Bird, all we needed to do was get back in the car, drive back up M72, and head to the campsite. However,
You're live. Never thought we'd see this in the state of Michigan. More hops than you can literally shake a stick at. They go on and on and on.
the Michigan Local Hops Farm, which is a collaboration between Michigan Local Hops and the Empire Hops Farm.
There's some hops that have obviously been planted for a while and they're reaching maturity, and then there's fields and fields of them that are obviously new. So there's some big time hops coming out of the state of Michigan real soon.
Okay, truth? We stumbled across this place. These guys are cultivating 200 acres of hops overlooking Grand Traverse Bay on land that used to be an old golf course and had actually been vacant for over 7 years. They broke ground in 2015, and this year in 2016 they're getting their first full harvest. Lots of hops that we know and love that go into craft beer, but also some new hybrid strains that are now only in Michigan. Can't wait to taste those. Next year, 2017, they will be managing over 350 acres of hops. And they're not just growing it. They have built an entire harvesting and pelletizing facility. Some serious money went into this because you know what? Craft beer is big business. Next stop, we got to finish what we started at Shorts an episode ago. Yeah, we got to taste the beer.
Now, one of the things we did not talk about, John, you guys are doing some sour beers now.
Yeah, you asked earlier, what's been new for Shorts, what's coming on the horizon for us, and it is our exploration into sour beer fermentation.
It is the new hotness.
It is, and even though we still have an emphatic love for our big hoppy beers, what's still driving the industry, the IPAs and all the experimental things that come with it, sours have been a ton of fun.
So where do we start with that?
At the very end here, we got 2 great examples of our sour beer program. Kettle souring is relatively new and very acceptable in the American sour craft beer scene. So this is so the saying goes, homage to the Munich Goes lightly soured wheats that also had the addition of salt to them. Yeah. So this one has kiwi, pink Himalayan sea salt, as well as the Brettanomyces and the lactobacillus, coriander as well. Yeah, and like you said, Jimmy, with our environmental mindset and focus, we also have crowlers now too.
I sense a little research. What do you think, guys? Should we get some crowlers for research? Excellent.
This one we call Quick Creek, and the name implies exactly what we've done. Another kettle sour, so we could, avoid or eliminate the extensive 6 to 9 month sour wood barrel aging program. But then we added Mount Morency Michigan tart cherries to it. So the name, like I said, implies it all.
There's a rush of tart, but there's so much fruit sweetness as well. And to have both of those sort of commingling like that.
So what a perfect segue into our next beer. Keeping with the summer theme, we took a nice Mexican lager that we brewed with key limes as well as agave. You kind of see where we're going here. But then we aged it in tequila barrels. So like you said, Barrel aging is popular, it's trending. Not only are there limitless combinations and possibilities, but also people's willingness to explore something that looks much more approachable.
How long in the wood here?
And this one you're going to be looking around 6 to 9 months.
All right, here we go, everybody. It's obviously a very easygoing light beer, but it's just like my mouth is exploding. One of our earlier episodes with you guys is, the title of the episode is, "We Didn't Know Beer Could Do That." And we still get that when we come back here, because you never fear innovation. You embrace it with every ounce of your being, and that's amazing. What do we got next?
As you know, we love our hoppy beers, and we always stay true to our roots. And even though we cater to new trends, we explore new creative pursuits ourselves, we always have to have some nice big IPAs available. And creativity when it comes to IPAs, there's still boundless options out there, and a lot of which have to do with new hop varieties, whether they're new to the market or just new to us. We have
hybrids, experimental stuff. There's all kinds of different. Oh, and just yesterday, as we were driving up from Traverse City, passed by an enormous hop farm. Are you guys sourcing from them?
Yeah, we are. We source from that group and hope to do even more, because that is a 400-acre hop farm right here in our backyard that just went in about a year ago. So by this time next year, they really should be cranking out some wonderful hops. Michigan used to be the second largest hop producer in the country back in the 1800s.
What we are here to tell you that what craft beer is doing for manufacturing in the United States and for other industry in the United States cannot be understated. Craft beer equals jobs. Brewers make great neighbors, and you guys make some of the best. So, what's the name? What's the name?
This beer, this is an IPL, like we mentioned earlier, an India Pale Lager. This uses Azacca hops, which are relatively new for us, and then we also added coconut to this. So this is rightfully named Cocoa Azacca. So we have coconut, Azacca hops, and just a really nice light-bodied India Pale Lager.
What's happening? What's happening in my mouth right now? It's interesting because having made your name in great big imperial beers, when I was looking at your lineup today, I didn't see much of anything that was in excess of maybe 6 or 7% ABV. So you've got a lot of really incredibly flavorful beers happening with a very, very low ABV, very low alcohol comparatively.
Well, approachability is huge, and then so is seasonality, and that still drives beer as it has for thousands of years, and we try to embrace that culture regardless of modern brewing. This is a German Dunkel, so a brown lager, if you will, true to style Dunkel, kind of unusual for us here at Shorts, and you don't see a lot of Dunkels in general here in the US, so different and unique for you guys by being traditional.
Some kind of full circle, I'm not sure how, but we have.
Yeah.
I like that. We've come a figure 8 here. I want to pair that with anything that comes off the grill. Anything roasty, big, because it finishes so clean. That's going to clear my palate out, and I'm going to be so ready for the next bite of whatever it is.
And all those great compliments up front for the food.
Shorts Brewing is continuing to innovate and really create a whole mecca of beer. There's never been, as we say, a better time in recorded history to eat and drink. And if you are within 500 nautical miles of Bel Air, you need to get your butts here and try this out. We are so, so happy to be here again, man.
Yeah, great to see you again.
Oh, God. It's our pleasure.
You know what? All that was left was to take this great liquid and put it to the test. So Joe, AJ, and I, we got ourselves a kayak and a canoe, and we took a growler of Nectar de la Vida for a float down the Jordan River. This is the part of the episode where we're, taking advantage of our natural resources.
That's a mess.
Both on the river and in the glass. And remember, trips are great, but a bev tour? Well, that's taking things to a whole other level. Cheers.